What up, pimps? Y'all already know who it is. With our top 5 Game of the Year list. Let's do it.
When looking back at a list of the games released during 2018, a trend begins to emerge very early on in the year. 2018 was undoubtedly filled with some great games, but it also featured a crazy amount of re-release, remastered and remade games that a lot of people may have already played. While these games were great to revisit, there's no way we could list any of them as Game of the Year contenders for obvious reasons. Instead, we'll be focusing on new titles that left a lasting impression on us.
So we want to get this out of the way immediately before we get to our list. We have not had the time to finish God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2, as these games require a lot of time to get through. As a result, neither of these games will make it on our top 5 list, even though they probably deserve a spot. But if you think of it this way, every other Game of the Year list contains both of these games, so now you get to see a list that doesn't have any of them. You get to see 2 different games, so everybody wins.
Despite launching in early access in summer 2017, we think it's important to acknowledge Fortnite's impact on gaming this year. Thanks to Epic Games' frequent updates, Fortnite has changed dramatically since its inception. In 2018, we saw the release of Seasons 3 through 7, marking huge changes to the map, weapons and items, which have kept the game feeling fresh. Bearing in mind that this is a free-to-play game that is available on every platform, including mobile, it's fair to say that Fortnite has set a new standard. To our knowledge, Fortnite is the first and currently only game to be cross-platform across every single device. No matter what you think of Fortnite, this is a huge step in gaming and we hope this platform unity becomes the norm in years to come. Oh, and the game is pretty good too. Fortnite has minimal downtime, meaning that you'll always feel like you have something to do, whether it's aggressively pushing other players, building, or finding cool items to play around with. Even if you've taken a break from Battle Royale games, returning to Fortnite will provide you with a different experience, while retaining the features that made it so popular in the first place.
Tetris Effect was one of the hidden gems of 2018 that may have slipped under your radar due to some of the other big releases at the time. Created by Tetsuya Mizuguchi, game designer of Rez and Lumines, Tetris Effect introduces new mechanics to spice up the traditional Tetris gameplay while adding plenty of additional modes for hardcore players. Puzzle games typically don't feature a soundtrack as good as this one, but Tetris Effect relies on players being entranced in the gameplay. The trippy effects that take place as you clear numerous lines can be mesmerizing at times. Tetris Effect gives you an experience that you never thought a puzzle game could be capable of. If we were to be reductive, Tetris Effect is Tetris with an interactive visualizer built in, and honestly, even that sounds good to me. On a separate note, there have been a number of game critics stating that they've actually cried while playing Tetris Effect. To induce this effect, I believe you will need to purchase additional accessories, but I'm not talking about PSVR.
While a lot of fans have expressed complaints regarding Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, we really appreciate the changes that have been made in this new title. Serving as a reimagining of Pokemon Yellow, this game has also been updated to include components from Pokemon Go, not to mention some incredibly familiar assets. The removal of surprise encounters saves a lot of time and makes filling your Pokédex even easier. However, it feels slightly strange to have lost some features such as wild battles, and we're still unsure why Nintendo won't let players use a Pro Controller to play this game. Overall, this fixed a lot of the inconveniences in previous Pokemon titles, despite coming with a few trade-offs. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is the perfect game if you're looking for something relaxing to play. The game has decent pacing, ensuring that when you locate a gym, you'll likely be able to beat it on the first try, with all the battles in between leveling up your party along the way. It's also very friendly for new players, particularly those who enjoy playing Pokemon Go, as it lets you transfer your Pokemon from the app to your Switch.
The impossible finally happened. We finally got a high quality Spider-Man game that we don't have to lie about being good. Spider-Man 2. Almost everything about this game is exactly what I would want from a Spider-Man game. The swinging mechanic, arguably the most important thing to get right in a Spider-Man game, has been implemented so well that the developers will genuinely struggle to improve it in any future sequels. As for the combat, fighting random goons feels so fluid when you've unlocked enough of the gadgets. is as close to becoming Spider-Man as you can get without being bitten by some magic spider. Sure, the Mary Jane and Miles missions weren't very good, and the boss fights weren't either, but remember when you got to kick loads of people off skyscrapers as Spider-Man? That part was the best. There are clear improvements that can be made to the series going forward. However, for Insomniac's first attempt at a AAA Spider-Man game, this is an excellent place to start.
It's no surprise that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate takes our top spot in our 2018 Game of the Year list. While Ultimate looks a lot like a port of Smash 4 with a few tweaks, there are a number of changes that make this installment feel noticeably different. Sporting the largest roster ever, with 69 unique characters and 7 Echo Fighters, Ultimate provides us with a huge choice of characters. Small yet notable changes to various characters will require you to spend a little time adjusting to your main again, although we've also spent a considerable amount of time testing out new characters, which has been equally enjoyable. Unlocking the full roster can feel incredibly tedious, and playing online was a bit sketchy to begin with. However, thanks to a prompt patch, both of these issues appear to have been greatly improved. If you like Smash 4, you will definitely enjoy Ultimate, and we especially recommend picking up this title if you have at least one buddy to play with. Our best moments occur in tense 1v1s, which have often extended into long sessions of play. Thank you so much for watching our Game of the Year video. Let us know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with our choices, we'd definitely be interested to hear that. Once again, we just want to thank you for watching, and if you like us, maybe consider sharing the video or subscribing, that always helps. Anyway, have a good day and catch you in our next video or stream.